Okay, I come out here to start pruning and my shears weren't real sharp, and I'm gonna have my husband go ahead and sharpen those for me, but we're still waiting on a lot of these trees to go dormant. This one's ready to prune, and of course we definitely need to be kind of cleaning up around the bottom and keep getting the coffee grounds put down. This needs cut. I was just kind of sizing up everything. Some of these, there's no way I can cut that with some shears. So what I'm gonna have to do is get a saw and cut it to about right there. You don't want to get it into the branch. And this is the research I've done, and also talking to an arborist. And we've talked to an arborist for a couple years after the wildfire. And this right here, you don't want to get too close. And also, if you follow, we're in Oklahoma, so I do follow Oklahoma Gardening, and I believe her name is Becky Carroll. She does a lot of stuff on the fruit trees, and I try to go to as many of those workshops as I can. And I have spoke with her. She's really nice. But they do have a YouTube, and they do show pruning the trees and not to get close to there. So you have to leave a notch, and then once you cut it, then paint it. So I'm definitely going to have to get some saws out here as well as the shears. There's a lot of these branches that are too big for the shears at this point. We'll have to get big enough ladders out here, and some paint, because after you cut the branches, you want to paint the tree to seal up that wound so that no borers or disease can enter into the tree. But there'll be a lot of stuff I will have to do to the tree and really get this cleaned up. This is one of the ones that did not burn. It did not sustain any fire damage, so it's in pretty good shape. This was one of the ones that wasn't touched. And you can tell which trees those are because they have the great big trunks. And this is a plum. And this, I think once we get the bottom cleaned up real well, if I'm not tripping over these branches here, get this tree pruned real good, get the coffee grounds down and the rabbit manure down there, some wood chips, I think this next year it ought to produce pretty good. A lot of these trees still haven't produced since the fire. Sometimes it takes a while to get them out of shock. I lost the map to my orchard, so I had everything planted according to the places I bought the trees from. Like some of them I got from a local nursery. Some of them I purchased through Stark Brothers. A big bulk of these trees came from Stark Brothers, and so you would find another tree of that variety that they pollinate with and then put that next to it. So everything was planted the way it should have been, and I lost the map, so I really don't know what I have left. I have an idea on some of the trees, and I know where, like this is a plum for sure. The variety, I really don't know. I had everything, because the whole farm was so different before the wildfire. So there was all these trees back there, and you had cherry trees to the back, and everything was mapped, and everything was planted with the cross-pollinating varieties. And now all that's gone, and I did not have the whole entire orchard memorized. And then I've replaced a lot of the trees that summer that we had that wildfire. So the wildfire was in May of 2014, and we started planting trees right away. I went and ordered, I tried to replace everything at once that I lost. I kind of was in denial that you can't do that, but yeah, that's another thing I did. But I mean, I was just kind of heartbroken that I had lost so much, and so I was really just trying to replace it all, and which was totally crazy. But I think I was just in shock and just wasn't thinking. And I mean, in June, I had trees coming, new trees coming, and people were like, well, you need to slow down, and I just kept going, you know. But it's not the ideal time in Oklahoma to get fruit trees. A lot of these are planted in November. November is the best time, and they ship the trees bare root to you in November, pretty close to Thanksgiving when everything's dormant, and they do so much better. You really have to baby and water the new trees, and they don't do near as well as they would do if you planted them in the winter. Anyway, there's just a little update. I haven't forgotten. We have a lot going on, and I can start a few of these trees, but I also realize that a lot of these branches are too big for the shears, and the shears do need sharpened and cleaned, and I need to make sure I have plenty of rubbing alcohol and stuff to clean the shears in between trees and such. So, and if you're doing the tree and it gets a little too dirty, go ahead and clean it as you're going to keep your shears clean. But anyway, this is Wendy at Hardneck Farms, and I thought I would share with you some of the process that we will be doing on this restoring the orchard. Y'all take care. It's November, I believe it's the day before election. I don't know which day it is. It's just that day. I'll look it up when I do upload this video. I'll make sure I put the date in here. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.